It cannot be a coincidence that one after another, foreign entities have descended on India to question and tarnish the India story. It cannot be a coincidence that first the Global Hunger Index, then the WHO, recently the BBC, and now the Hidenburg Report have caused havoc in Indian markets, our polity, and even our social order. This is not some fanciful conspiracy theory I am talking about. It is a targeted assassination of Indian dreams and aspirations, a concerted bid to dethrone India from its aspirational place in the global order and sow the seeds of uninterrupted confusion and chaos, leading to the very destabilization of the country itself. The malignant gaze of these foreign entities in India is not innocent. I will expand on this theme in greater detail, but first, a very warm welcome to all viewers of the CAA show. CAA, as all of you know, is Conversations and Analysis, and my name is Juggi Bhasin. To watch this video podcast, press the big red subscriber button on your screen, and subscription is of course completely free. Let me first explain the problem that is exploding right in our faces. We have a choice to make in such interventions, especially those triggered by the above mentioned entities and more of their ilk. We either accept that we are a proud country with some of the most robust democratic processes and systems in the world, that we have all said and done a very energetic judiciary of the highest integrity, and a regulatory framework and processes among the best in the world. We either accept all this or else we accept the opposite narrative that we are no more than a banana republic, a seedy third world country corrupt to the core. A country that does not truly trust its own judiciary and regulatory systems and therefore should look to the West for rediscovering its moral fiber and perhaps even ask the West to educate on critical matters. I have deliberately used strong language in the second proposition for a reason. How else one explains the credulity and willingness of so many of us, especially key opposition personalities and parties, to believe everything that the BBC says about our country, our political personalities? And how does one explain the fact that we have swallowed everything the Hidenburg report says hook, line and sinker, forgetting we have a market regulator, SEBI, and independent analysts within the country who are far better qualified to comment on the issue of the Adani stock? I pose this question to you. And at this juncture, let me add as a kind of a declaration that I hold no vested interest in the Adani stock. I don't have its stock and I have never met the man. Now, that being out of the way, let me comment on the issue. Adani might be guilty of wrongdoing or not. Who is the best judge of that? It has to be SEBI, of course. And who heads SEBI? Madhavi Puri Butch. Anyone with even some basic corporate knowledge and awareness knows Madhavi is a person of outstanding integrity and a corporate background. She has had a stellar career. Under her leadership, it seems completely inconceivable that the Adani Group, or for that matter any other corporate, would have a free run of stock manipulation and fraud auditing. In any case, SEBI is probing the matter. Should we therefore not wait for their report and conclusions of the probe to come out before jumping the gun and bringing in chaos in the financial and political system? At the same time, the question has to be asked, why should we believe Hidenburg? They are not activists, as some wrongly presume, out to change the world for the good. They are short sellers looking to make a profit. If probity is the name of the game, then should not Hidenburg tell us how much money they have made from short selling the Adani stock these last few days? Secondly, Where is Hidenburg getting its information from? Their website says that they do their forensic analysis based on public records and documentation. Now, if that be the case, then it is completely inconceivable that in public records, Adani would be admitting to fraud. That is, if they have committed it. Then how did Hidenburg get hold of the information they claim to have on the Adani group? Did they break into their so-called secret servers, records, or documentation by stealth or subterfuge? Tell us that, all that, Hidenburg. Tell us your methodology, so we believe you. Friends, the classic strategy of entities like Hidenburg and BBC, etc., is that they first give a slanted, one-side narrative without any proof, challenging the other side to appeal against their findings in a Western court of law. In that manner, they create a classic catch-22 situation for the party against whom they have launched their raid. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Then they wait for gullible social, political and celebrity entities in India who are always looking to score against the government to join the debate and carry forward their cause in the most virulent manner within India as it is happening right now. This way, they not only make money from their effort, but they also realize their primary objective of destabilizing India. And make no mistake about it. These entities are in a sense, they are asking us to trust men like Jack Straw, the BBC and Hidenburg and Western courts of law over our regulators and judiciary and polity. And if you think I'm exaggerating, note this. Jack Straw and his boss Tony Blair were the men who lied on the status of Iraq stockpiling nuclear weapons. And we all know what happened in the Iraq war after that. Millions died in that war. And after being responsible for that carnage, Jack Straw today has a gumption. He has the nerve to lecture India on the 2002 Gujarat riots. This is really what all this issue is all about. And if someone still does not get it, why all this is happening, then let me reiterate. Many in the West cannot tolerate that India has so well recovered from COVID and is now on an accelerated growth path. In the last few years, we have jumped from being the 10th largest economy to the 5th in the world. We are closing in on becoming the 3rd largest economy in the world. Now, this is upsetting many foreign entities. They are using every trick in the book to destabilize India. And that is not all. Large sections of the opposition in our country believe the only way to get back into power is by derailing the India growth story. Because only in ruins they can see their revival. On our part, what should we then do to fight this menace? I think we should have faith in our regulatory bodies. Wait for the SEBI report before jumping the gun. If Adani is found guilty, he should be given the strictest punishment. But if not, and a Hidenburg plot is unearthed, then we should forget about being the good boys, the please-all country of the international order. We should go after these agent provocateurs hammer and tongs. Ban them, file cases against them, make life difficult for them, pressure foreign governments to act against them. And lastly, watch closely the role of some foreign institutional investors. I would not be very surprised if it finally comes out that some foreign institutional investors were really behind the stock market carnage using Hidenburg as a front. Whatever the government does, be like the Israelis, never to forgive or forget. That is the only way we can recover from this carnage and get on with our lives. And so on this note, I come to the end of this episode of the CAA Show. I hope you really enjoyed this particular episode. You like our show, do subscribe to us. And on this note, it's goodbye and cheers from my end.